What is going on, gamers? It's Rob here, and we are on my second channel. This is High Charity Plays, playing a little bit of Beyond All Reason today. The map that we are playing is called, I believe, not Ancient Bastion, but Ancient Vault, I think. We're playing Hard Raptors, so if you've never seen this game before, you've never played it, it's basically like a massive, epic strategy game, RTS, but this kind of game mode turns it into a little bit of what you might consider a sort of a tower defense sort of gaming experience, which is really, really fun in its own way. My good friend Mikey and Anthony have completely got me addicted to this game. It's really, really fun. I would highly recommend anyone checking it out and giving it a little go. It is actually free, and they accept donations to play if you've never played it before. I'm definitely a massive noob on this, but here's what we got up to on this map. So this is basically usually done with multiple players, I think, against the Raptors. Raptors are like these alien, kind of like alien infector foes that you'll see shortly. And the build order that I'm going for here is a little bit unusual. You see there I've queued up about 16 of these construction bot guys ready to go. We're just getting mechs set up here. As you can see, this is a pre-recorded game, by the way, so I'm not actually playing this live as I'm doing it. I'm just doing a voiceover. And very interestingly, I think what would initially be the first go-to is, okay, you've got a big map here, let's expand quickly, take as many of the mechs points as we can, and gain full map control. But having tried that in the past, it really hasn't worked well at all. So what I've opted for in this case is kind of a more tighter defense, going for these geos nice and early. I'm kind of strategically putting in these nanos here ready to go just before I get those mechs points, which you'll see why shortly, a bit later on in the game. And I'm going for this kind of cute little pattern I've got going on there, where you go lightning towers and then beamers in between them. That's a common thing that I've got going on there. No wind on this map as well, so I'm really having to make use of a ton of solars. As I say, I'm a noob at this. I'm a complete newbie at this game, so there's probably many better ways of playing than what I'm doing here. But this was a bit of an achievement for me to actually get this down, so I'm fairly happy about this. Frontline defense, super important, just throwing down the LTs, and we're going to go for like a wall in front of that now. Dragon's Teeth, I haven't looked at this now. I really should have gone for a wider spacing on those, but never mind, it doesn't really matter. I think that actually comes back to bite me in the ass a little bit later on. We're going to go for some air defense up front as well. Quick time in this, because they do send... or they can at least send some bombers. Another unique thing about this map, obviously you've got this huge amount of metal in the middle here from all the remains of the other units. There's obviously meant to have been a massive battle here at some point. That's the law of the map, and so you're going to make use of that, definitely, hence the Lazarus going out there doing a bit of work. Putting down now the battery, the energy store, because it's really going to be important going into the long game. Basically, my strategy for this was just to get into T2 as quickly as possible and start really scaling that eco. That's the only way I found that I can actually achieve this. Now, as I say, I'm a total noob at this game. I haven't seen anybody actually post this up yet. Solo Hard Raptors on this map. That's not to say other people haven't done it. I'm sure there are. But this was my best attempt at it anyway. Going in for that nano stack there now already, and we're just going to go straight into the more efficient solar, because it's just not working out for us in the long term to do these standard T1 solars anymore. Just going to finish off that stack there with the com, and then we'll move on. I'm kind of like putting, side defenses on the east and west walls here, as you can see. So, and just a couple of beamers there, a couple of nanos for defense, just to kind of like hold them off in case anything comes up that way. Same for the back where the geos are, because they will actually go for that. Not looking too good on time. We've only got 1 minute and 34 seconds before they turn up. I'm putting down a nice lightning wall, and as you can see there, it is again that pattern that I'm going for. Lightning turrets into beamers in between the gaps there, and the same again on the other side. Lightning turrets are incredibly effective against these Raptors, what I've found. I have seen other playthroughs online against not just hard Raptors, but people actually go against very hard Raptors, which I mean, that's craziness. That is wild. I don't know how people manage to do that, but they often use lightning turrets early on when you're playing Armarda because they just really, really work. They scale great against them. That's all there is to say at the minute. I'm sure there'll be plenty of blunders for me to comment on as we go, and we're getting close now to the Raptors. About 46 seconds left there on the clock. And obviously, as standard, you've got to have those nanos up on the front for the extra support, right? You've got to have them there, making sure that, you know, we're repairing anything and reclaiming anything. Something that comes along later on is I basically extend that front line out with more walls and things like that to really keep them at bay. Oh, a major blunder on my behalf here. I've run out of metal. That should never happen on this map. It's just there's one thing at least that can be improved upon. I'm sure, you know, my efficiency is all over the place here as well, as you can see, but we're trying our best. Now, I'm opting for Centurions coming out of the T1 bot lab there because they just work great against Raptors. I think basically you want to be in the kind of frame of mind that every hit that you fire is going to land, and obviously Centurions are perfect for that. Going into the T2 stuff now, pretty quick on what's that, 6 minutes in, we're straight into T2 mexes, etc. Maybe should have gone for an extra las here just to help with that metal. Now I think we should be okay once this big shipwreck gets absorbed any minute now. And yeah, so the order now goes, I think I've gone for 2 or 3 T2 construction bots there. We're going to go straight into mexes, and then, as you can see here, I've gone in for the geos. That's why the nanos are there preemptively to help us with the construction of those, right? Throwing down a few more nanos at home here, just trying to get that build power up and running. Now, just as the metal's gone up, the energy is looking a bit shaky, so that's not great either. As you can see there, just putting the Centurions out front and center to try and hold off any stray Raptors that are coming through. Pretty cool. So everything's just ticking over there. As I say, energy is not looking good there. In fact, I've realized it myself, having played the game, and I've gone for 1, 2, 3, 4 just to make a nice little cube of T1 solars going on there. By the way, I'm getting a little bit of clicking coming through here on the audio. Do apologize for that. That's something that's a problem with the OBS studio that I have yet to diagnose and fix, so I do apologize if you can hear any weird pops and clicks coming through your end there. What's next? Okay, so I've got the T1 constructor moving in place, and we're going to go straight into scaling that eco, as I was saying before. Got a few helper bots coming out here as well. What are they called? Not grave robbers, but butlers, the Armarda assistants, fast assistance robots there. So very cool. Now I am gonna go for that T2 mechs spots in the middle there, but nothing on the outsides, as I was saying, because I think that basically just that gives them an incentive, the AI an incentive to hit you around the sides, and it's just too difficult for me to cover that space in that time. As I say, you know, I'm sure there are much better ways of doing this than what I'm doing. I'm just letting you know how I got to where I'm going there. That is so annoying that isn't that was placed off a line there. I don't know what I was thinking there. I'm thinking probably that it doesn't matter because they're all going to get absorbed later on anyway. They're all going to get recycled later on. Gone for the second geo there. Moving forward, a couple more Centurions, and finally you get a few more Lazarus coming out. As you can see as well, I've gone for all the extra mechs, ruins, or carcasses, or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, all the metal around the sides as well. Here you come, the first early few Raptors here. LLT should be basically enough to take them out. Hence why I placed them first before putting any of the other defences down. These are coming online very slowly but surely, and I forgot to extend that wall there, so I've gone into that. As you can see, another construction bot here. Can't quite remember what he's doing. Oh, right, okay, I think the other one was for something else, but this guy's going to go straight into, because we're overflowing metal, a few energy converters, very nice. We are badly overflowing metal there, so again, all these little things can be improved upon. You know, I'm still fairly new to the game, to be honest. I'm not much of a gamer as it is anyway. I'm just kind of more of a casual player. And then straight into the first fusion, which is going to really help us out there to scale a bit later on. What are we doing now? Straight into the arbs. Very nice. Gone 1, 2, 3, 4 arbs on that side, and then same for the other. And you just got to constantly be thinking one step ahead. Like, okay, you know, we've had an air wave, now we're going to have, you know, some acid, now we're going to have another air, you know, whatever the order may be. So that's why I've gone in for that early air there, to basically just to hold them off. As you can see, a few of them are getting through. That's why I've got those chainsaws at the back. Trying to reclaim that metal there. My Lazaruses have just stopped working as well, which is very... Maybe I've made the... Maybe I've made the circles, the circumferences too large. That's why they've stopped. Don't know. But hopefully that should be taken care of now. Still getting some slight leaks going on the left-hand side there, so we're just gonna buff that up with a few more Centurions. This will hold you now basically until about 25% Queen Hatch, which you can see up there in the top right-hand corner. Then you're gonna have to start bumping up your defenses. We're talking harder and heavier stuff. I am idling things when I'm not using them, because there's no point in spending any extra resources if there's no good cause for them. And you want to go big on static defenses. So here we can see now more arbs coming in for on the right hand side, and presumably yeah, a couple more nanos there to help build this all out nice and quick. And you got to have those ticks coming in for that line of sight as well. 1, 2, 3 heavy sorry, T2 converters coming in, I should say. And we're building out this nano wall. Been watching those I think his name's Drongo, I think, who does a lot of BAR content, and he goes for like a kind of like a 4-stack 4x4, you know, nano wall whenever he's building out his second tier eco basically, and that really seems to work quite well. And you might be thinking, what on earth are we doing here? Well, I'm just basically making a deterrent to stop him from hitting me around the back, stop those pesky Raptors from coming in around the back there, and more defenses there on the eastern side. Again, same pattern. I've gone for I've gone for the lightning towers, and I've gone for the beamers in the middle, and then we're just buffing it out with more HLTs again, just as deterrence really, because he does come around the back. He does try and flank you quite heavily on this. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the way the AI works on this is it tries to target your eco wherever it can, because it knows it'll obviously be a tactical advantage. Reclaiming those T1 solars there to try and get the fusion up and running. Really could have went for another energy converter there you go. And just as I've said that, I've realised myself. And then we've got some snipers going out on the front there, because the Raptors have like sniper units of their own, and it's a nightmare to deal with unless you've got a decent counter for them. Hence why they're going out on the front there. I don't think they're actually called snipers in the game. I can't remember what the name is now. It escapes me, but that's what they do basically. Heavy sniper units. So there we go. Butler's doing the Lord's work, getting those early solars sorted, and there's the 4-stack going straight into advanced fusions. And this is another Drongo trick. You go 1 fusion into 3 energy converters like that. 1 APHIS, 3 advanced energy converters. Basically, I think it's something like 600. Yeah, 600 energy per second for every 1 energy converter, and then 1 APHIS will give you 3k energy. So that's just a nice little ratio, you know. So you've got all of those energy converters should be working with maximum efficiency, and then you've got some extra energy left spare, which you're going to need for firing of weapons. You know, the snipers need energy to fire. Later on, the pulsars will need energy to fire. You're going to need extra energy for your builds and stuff like that. So this is a nice little ratio. It works quite nicely there, and I've gone up tactically to about 10 APHIS there. And here you can see, right, this is really what changed how I play this one around. I've had, like, honest to God, lads, like 50 attempts like, at this map. My partner will attest to that. Ruth will attest to that, because she's seen me play this over and over and over again. And this is really the game changer, is putting those extra walls out in front. I don't know if it messes up the AI and it gives them a real something to think about or what, but it really helps. It really helps to get like extra ground going down, and then you can put in some extra nanos in between that stuff. It provides more cover for your units. It's just a great idea all around, and the nanos will help you get that reclaim on the front, which is basically one of your main ways of getting resources whenever you're fighting against these Raptors. Nothing too heavy coming through so far at 24%. As you can see there, Centurion's just doing work, absolutely doing work. Snipers out in front. Now a couple more of these heavy constructors. I keep calling them heavy. I should say the proper name, T2 constructions, construction bots, and I go for this wall of pit bulls there, and that is an insurance policy in case anything comes down the middle. And as you can see, we're kind of artificially creating the choke point there. We want them to be coming down the center as much as possible, straight into the fire of those pit bulls. A couple of archangels coming on there because, well, for this exact reason. Look at this little geezer. Look at this cheeky little monkey here flying around bombing all me mexes. What a git. And I've left it this late so far because I just know through having played it so many times you can get away with it for this long, but you do need those defenses on the flanks coming in soon. Still got that bug with the las there. It's not picked up any of that metal. That would have been helpful. Never mind. Never mind. I don't know what I don't know what that's in aid of. And the other one's done it as well. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments there if you know what that's all about. But yeah, there we have it. Eco's looking nice, looking real good. Something must have got through and got taken out here by the air defense, because we're missing an energy converter. Thank God it didn't blow the whole stack though, because that would have been disastrous. Reclaiming those solars now, we don't really need them. As you can see, the eco's balancing out. As I say, lads, you know, this is just basic stuff that I'm doing here. I don't really, you know, I'm not a great gamer, period, and I'm certainly not very good at this game. I'm just sharing a little bit of fun that I had here on this map. I don't know if I don't know if I missed this at the time, but you can see through the western side there, they're trying to get through on the left as we're looking at it. A little bit of weird lag going on here as well. Throwing that energy conversion thing down so that everything is running at full efficiency. All the converters are. Those ARBs making short work of any snide bombers or scouts coming through, and this is what I'm going for, right? That's what I go for. I should have went for the nanos first. There's another little improvement that could be made there. Should have went for the nanos first before I made any of the other stuff, but there we have it. And now once he's done, we're going to go into some of the big boys. We're into some pulsars there, some tachyons. Really help sorting this out. I don't know what is going on with OBS Studio here. There's mad kind of lags and stuff going on. It's very unfortunate that. I hope that doesn't continue, otherwise this entire recording will be garbage. It is looking like it's just going to carry on lagging, which is very unfortunate. Never mind. There we've got some more ARBs coming up. Better defense on the sides there. Okay, wave 18, 72 Raptors. So as you can see, everything's just ticking along as normal. That god-awful lag is just basically made whole chunks of this unwatchable, I'm afraid, lads. Never mind. So everything that has carried on is exactly as I've said. Going into anti-nukes now, around about the 50-60% hatch mark, you're going to want those anti-nukes in there, definitely. And yeah, everything else is as I've said, right? Except the only thing I've really messed up here, as you can see. Oh my god, no bubble shields on the right hand side. I don't know how I wasn't punished for that by the AI. I should be getting hit with acid left, right and centre here, and mortars. So I'm not entirely sure as to how it's let me off with that, but it has, so I'm not going to complain. You might not be so lucky if you try this, so I would definitely advise that you do put those up as quickly as you possibly can. I've extended the front line out, as you can see, exactly as I've said previously. Loads of kind of like spaced out dragon's teeth there. And here's what we've done with the eco. I'm basically scaling up, as we said, 4 stack with the nanos, and basically a 1-to-3 ratio of the converters to the aphises. I'm extending it out on both sides now, because around about 10, your eco is so strong. 10 aphis, your eco is so strong, you can kind of exponentially improve that. And how are we doing that? Well, as you can see there, we've built an air, T1 air and a T2 air, right? So we've got the constructors coming out, just basically extending that out. You can see the T2 air constructor there building the aphis on the far side. And I've got a bit of metal in the bank, so we're going to expand out the nano wall, right? And we're just basically going to make strips of this either side, and just keep scaling that eco like absolutely crazy business, right? Don't worry too much if it's a little bit unneat, you know, because you can always just recycle things later on. I'm really struggling getting those T1 airs there, trying to scoop them up with the marquee. There we go, built it finally. That's one of my favorite commands, by the way, is if you hold spacebar whilst you're holding, I think, control down, what it basically does is it assigns one construction unit to one building, which is fantastic. It's exactly what you're after for rapid construction. Obviously use it sparingly. And this is what I'm doing here. I'm just basically putting the ticks out, putting the centurions out, just keeping that, I guess they call it pork for some reason, out up in the front. Just give them something to think about. And yeah, just keep expanding these dragon teeth out, you know. Nothing's really getting through those tachyons. If you want to know what I've done for the tachyons there, I do 9 on the western flank, 9 on the eastern flank, and then a whole bunch down the middle, and that'll sort you out, I think, basically until the end. As you can see, the range is great there, and as long as you've got LOS using the ticks and whatnot, they can't do much about it. Also good to kind of remember that these long range attacking units benefit from the God, I've forgotten the name of them, but the things that help them, pinpointers, that's it. So you're going to want to get those up as quickly as you can. I haven't got any up at the minute, but I do put some down. We're just expanding out the eco. That's it. That is all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Second wall of nanos already there. So guess what we do? We do a whole bunch of T2 converters right up there. Lovely. And yeah, we go converters into aphis, into converters, into aphis. I think now. Let's see what I'm doing. I can't quite remember. Yeah, just another big stretch of aphis. There you go. And that's it. Obviously, you don't want to build those one-to-one. You want to have all your units focused down one thing. Ah, yeah, here we go. Got a lot of metal in the bank there. So we are constructing in chunks now what will be our T3, basically our win condition for the game. Just a whole bunch of T3 up at the front. We've got some spam coming in, and oh, here we go. This could get a bit tasty. As you can see, they're trying their best, aren't they, to get through there. They've got heal and raptors in to really give them best chance. So we're just going to buff that defense up a little bit. Extra nano down there cannot hurt at all to keep our stuff repaired and good to go. But that's going to be the win condition for the game, right? I'm not spamming anything. I'm idling most of the stuff. You don't need to build stuff unless it's really necessary, right? And less is more always, I think, with the eco scaling. You don't want to be in a position where you're flatlining everything, right? You want to have a little bit left in the tank so you can think about, okay, what's the next move? How are we going to progress it on? 71%. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, we need to be moving into T3 kind of soonish. It's good to have that up there because it kind of reminds you of what's going on. Sorry about before where I had to skip the video, by the way, lads. It was, the lag was just I couldn't really comment over anything. It was just so bad. Expanding out that nano wall for those T3 things. Here comes the T3. Lovely. Swap them round, facing the right way. Nice. Start off slow. Less is more. So don't build like 8 to begin with, just a couple, and then we go into our, I guess that'll be our third aphis wall now. Hate these bombers. These bombers really make life tricky. Got to get those ticks and the pork out in the front there so we get some line of sight of what's going on. That'll help your... Oh yeah, sorry, I should have mentioned. Alongside the arbs, in a kind of zigzag pattern there, you can see I've put down the long-ranged air defense because they're just great. They're just really, really great. You don't see that often in team games or actual games and stuff like that. You just see ARBs mainly because they're super effective right up until the late game, but you don't want to be taking any chances because one bad bomb and run can really screw your day up on this one. As you can see there, I've just extended that central line of tacky in there, so 9 on one side, 9 on the other, and then I'll leave it up to your discretion. A whole bunch in the middle. Using the mobility, this construction aircraft here, just to get whatever we can with that reclaim. It's going well, not bad, and I'm liking how this is building out now. So we're building basically like 2 APHIS at a time, and we're just stacking those energy converters. There's a bunch more coming through now. That's just to remind myself of where I want that to go. And then here comes another, so that will actually technically be our 4th nano wall. Only making that a 3 stack though, not making that a 4 stack like the others.
Nuclear missile launch
Here come the
detected.
nukes. We got our anti-nukes. We are not worried at all. And I'm going into Razorbacks. I have built another anti-nuke there just as an insurance policy because the Raptors can send so many. I have had it in the past that you get overwhelmed, and it's GG if one of those guys gets through. So you don't want that to happen.
T3 is ready.
Here come the Razorback.
Nuclear
T3 is
missile
online
launch
now.
detected.
And you're going to see what I'm going to do. We're going to really kind of like have a big win with the Razorbacks in a minute. Just getting those OCD nanos in there, making sure everything's nice and neat. In a nice big line. These guys are trouble, right? Absolute trouble. But we are sitting pretty. Look, we haven't even made it through to the main defense line because we've got so much crap out in the front, right? Either it's pork, it's T2, what are they called? Like the zappy guys, the lightning bots or whatever, or Centurions or sharpshooters, welders. There you go. I couldn't think of the name. Or gunslingers, right? And we're just a handful of smattered out, or it's loads of T1 wall, and it's just making life difficult for them to get through. The Tackians will do the rest of the work. Here now, again, probably a bit late this to be honest, but here are the pinpointers, and again, as you can see, I'm just floating a little bit of metal at all times. That might be a bit ambitious, that. haven't looked at that on the playback, but we're trying our best. We're trying our best, okay? And what are we going for now? You guessed it. More scaling of the eco. Things are starting to get a little bit scary around the sides here. This could have been disastrous. Those bloody purple raptors are the bane of my existence. So they spawn infinitely because they are like repeatable. So as you can see, what I've done is I've put some pit bulls around the sides, and I've even gone for a couple of Tackians to really hold them at bay. But there is another trick that you can do wherein you just make, and even with that I'm struggling. Look at that, they're giving me a right run for the money because they just never endingly spawn. So I do make a bunch of gunships to try and take them out. Something went real wrong there in the front. As you can see, almost all almost all of my T1 stuff, all the walls are down. Oh my god, that bomber got through. That wasn't good. My own Razorbacks are destroying my walls, and now at this late stage, 83% queen hatch. I've realised, oh my god, I forgot to put down bubble shields on that side. What a disaster. I've been incredibly fortunate because I haven't really faced much trouble in the way of mortar raptors and stuff like that at this stage, so super lucky. That eco's looking mean, and look, we're getting to the point now where we've outscaled the production at 84%. I'm wasting metal, and I had to take a breather. I'll be honest, my brain was so fried at this point. Right, I had to take a little breather. I was 40 minutes in, and I'm pretty knackered, so I just go, okay, what do I actually want? I want a whole bunch of these, and I mean, you can just kind of go crazy with these now. You can just go hog wild. Whole bunch more nanos to make sure that build speed is right up there. And what else are we doing? Let's have a look. Well, that was it. Obviously, you can't really pause in like a real game. This is just me being a divvy. But, I'm sure you guys are way better than me anyway, and you can do this no problem. just stacking the nanos. Sorry, the converters, stacking the nanos, stacking the converters. Here they come in, and probably some more Aphis as well. Just making sure that this is really, we're spending these resources and everything is geared towards more exponential, grow as fast as we can. You just got to be careful that you don't overstretch, basically. And I think we're about to find out in a few seconds once I unpause how much of an overstretch this is. You can see how slow that was as well. My APM is down to about 3 actions per minute there because my brain's fried at this point in the game. You can see the gunships coming out there to really help with those cheeky little monkeys coming around the side there trying to batter us. That Tachyon wall is mean, right? I think we should be more or less sound. These bloody sniper Raptors are just the bane of my life as well. I hate them. I can't stand them. So I've got the Razorback to come in. I think he lets a few shots off and he legs it. Look at that. Look, he's moonwalking away from me and everything. Little git. Can't believe it.
Nuclear launch detected.
More spam for the front lines. Lovely. Spend that metal. We're wasting it. Really, in the pause there, I should have stacked up some energy storages so that I'm not wasting it. I mean, you can. This is what I mean, guys. I'm like so inefficient with my playing. I'm sure there's a million better ways to play this level and to win on these conditions than what I'm doing here. I've had wasted metal there for about 3 minutes, you know what I mean, about 20k metal, and only now I'm just finally getting into spending it all. And we're just going for the usual motley crew, Titans, Thors, and the artillery bots. Vanguards, I think they're called.
Nuclear missile launch detected.
So we haven't got long now until the Queen gets here. But again, I'm focused really on scaling at all times, just keeping that up and running. The fight against the Queen will go on for a long time, so you're gonna have to pay attention to that that eco. There's nothing down for it because I really should have made better use of hotkeys here as well. You can see me clicking like an absolute idiot. Right? There's just no need for it. It just takes such a short amount of time to learn the hotkeys, and it improves your gameplay by orders of magnitude, so you really should do that. Again, just look at that. It's 90% Queen Hatch, but we're still more concerned about scaling because we know the win condition is outscale them with T3, right? And we just have so much metal on the field that they can't do anything about it. I've got one more trick up my two more tricks up my sleeves, respectively, that you'll see in a minute.
Nuclear missile launch detected.
Oh, that lag's coming back. I might have to skip in again. Here it is, right? We're going for the nukes. The nukes don't do anything against the Queen. They just bounce off her. But that's not what they're there for. They're there to stop the healers and the support units around them, around the Queen. That's what really makes the difference. So we're just absolutely getting cut up by those thingy-majigs, what are they called? Tachyons there. Essential for your arsenal.
Nuclear missile
Tachyons are looking more accurate than the sharpshooters, in fact, which is bizarre, but there we have it. Getting that reclaim at all times. So that's what we're using the nukes for, right? We're using them to basically cut off any support for the Queen. That's the only use for it. Just thin out the heads. I'm getting pretty paranoid around these outsides here now. We don't want to, it only takes one thing to hit those energy converter stacks, and then it's game over. So we want to make sure we're locked down. And we've got a huge ball of metal. And here is trick number 2, okay? If you build loads of stuff in the middle, the Queen will just go around one of the flanks via the AI will do that. And then you snook it because you've got nothing defending the flanks, and it'll just go skip all of your defensive line and then hit your eco and you're done for. So this is what we're doing instead. We're building a nice clear channel for the Queen to run down, so that the AI still wants to go down the middle, That's the point of least resistance in that respect, but it's going to get absolutely lit up on the way there. So I think that's another good little tactic there that I'm going for.
Nuclear missile launch
That
detected.
was not expected, was it? That was a disaster. And why did that happen? Oh my god. That happened because I don't think I built a bloody anti-nuke on that side. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Yeah, you can see there I missed one. I've gone one for the centre, one for the right hand side, but I missed the left flank. So absolute, and I haven't even replaced it. That's shocking. That is shocking. I must just be thinking I don't care at this point. Who cares? Let's just
Missile launch detected.
go hell for leather on the T2 stuff. Sorry, T3 stuff. We've got all that metal. We're gonna waste it. We're gonna just
Nuclear
build
missile launch detected.
everything and anything that we can get our hands on now. More nanos just to make sure we've absolutely got that build power maxed out. Okay. And this is the luxury that we're afforded because we've built up such an insane eco at this point, right?
Nuclear missile launch detected.
Same stuff we're going for. We're just going for Razorback. Ah, that one I've gone for just a bit more pork out in the field. Some Marauders just to keep him occupied, basically. Another friggin' strike there on that side. I guess I've just not been bothered at this point.
Nuclear missile launch detected.
Forming up the battle lines now because we're about 1% away. There we go, and we know what's coming. Okay.
Nuclear missile launch detected.
And here it is.
Nuclear launch detected.
Hastily trying to rebuild everything on this side. My goodness.
Nuclear missile launch detected.
At this point, we're not too panicked. Look how far away the Queen is, right? She's going to get absolutely bathed in nuclear fire before she even gets here, so she should be on her own by the time she gets here, right? And all the while, we've got absolute maximum production going on. So I should be thinking at this point, okay, how do I, what else can I build? And here we go, I've clocked it. Bot lab, T1, but just get as much metal out on the field as we can at this point.
Nuclear missile launch detected.
Acid spitter coming around the side, very annoying. I hate those. Right, so here we go. Here come the nukes again. This isn't doing anything. I've got those set to control groups, so I'm just going 1, 2, 3. This isn't doing anything to hurt the Queen. It's just stopping the spam that's around her, basically. Decided to go for more silos there. That's a bit late, to be honest with you. I don't think they'll be effective by the time the Queen comes out. As you can see, my brain's completely fried at this point. I don't even know what the hell I'm clicking on. My APM is just shocking. But that's okay. You guys will be much better at that, I'm sure, than I am. This is a bit of a nightmare. Right, so here comes the Queen. She's getting absolutely lit up. We're down to 74% health so far. We should win this. We're feeling confident right at this point. Look how many Thors we've got alone. Right, but look at that. One hit takes out the entire Tachyon stack. That's very annoying. But that's okay. That's why we've got the extra Tachyons either side. Okay, Thors are going in, and then here's trick number 3 that I promised. We're sending those Thors around the back to stop any healers, right? And I've formed a perimeter around it to stop any healers. We're fine because we've still got loads of tough stuff. We've got all the not juggernauts, but we've got loads of other stuff basically there to keep shooting at her. But we're concerned now that we don't want any healers to come round. Okay, what are we doing here? I don't know.
Nuclear launch detected.
As you can see, I'm just glacially moving now. I'm so slow. Just like click, click.
Missile launch detected.
Queen's pretty tough. She's nearly destroyed all those Thors. Yeah, it's tough going. I've just sent everything at her. Right, she's resistant to Pulsar Thors and Titans as well. So I mean, what are we? I don't know what we're hoping for here. I don't know. Hopefully we've got some vanguards and snipers and even T2 stuff or T1 stuff to hurt her. 13% health there, and we should be feeling relatively happy. Couple more nukes, just as an insurance policy. Stop those healers, guys. Stop the healers. That's what we're after. Okay. And you wouldn't believe it, would you? But look at that. Like, it's so much has been destroyed now. Got the bulls and some what are they called? Starlights coming in. I could be building even more stuff here because we're still not even anywhere close to using all of our metal. All the energy for this point. So you know you guys can improve on this stuff at home, but just thought it'd be cool to share this with you. 3% health. Please don't miss the explosion. I don't. Okay, that's good. Queen's now resistant to sharpshooter, so it's basically on the vanguards to take her out. I'm dropping more nukes because it gets still. You know, it can turn around real quick, and we are thin. We're thin on the ground there. But it's okay, I don't think we even get that close in before she dies. For the nukes to land. Let's see. There she goes. And then the nukes land. Ah, how satisfying. How satisfying. So there you go, guys. We had hard Raptors on Ancient Vaults. Ancient Vault, and I hope you have enjoyed this. I don't know if you can see there in the top right hand corner, there's a whole bunch. 9 Razorbacks didn't make it to the fight because they haven't set the gather points. As where you can tell, I'm still very new to the game. I'm still a total beginner when it comes to this stuff. Nice eco though. I'm sure you guys will appreciate that. You know, I'm sure you'll appreciate the juiciness of that eco. Last tip I would say as well is just keep your eye on those energy converters. If one of them goes, the whole stack goes. The whole stack goes. All your nanos will go. All your build power's gone. It's game over. So strategically kept them at least a few lines away from the front, you know. And there we have it, man. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. And please, if you did, subscribe. I'm going to do plenty more fun games, all different kinds, and probably other things on this channel as well. Probably not just games. Maybe like I don't know, whatever takes my fancy, really. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed it. What an epic game. What an epic game. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.